Hello, everybody. It's Friday morning, and it's about almost 5 in the morning, and I've been thinking about some things to help out my friends who are data scientists. And so I was in playing with ChatGPT 4.5, and I built a prompt generator for code, which I'm calling Smart Chat, and that looks like this. So let's go take a look at Smart Chat. Smart Chat is part of the careful coding concept to say everything we know about coding and engineering since before the beginning of time still matters. So I'm going to come in with the demo account. So I'm going to try that again. Maybe I come in with Google here. Nope, that's not working. Let's come into a place I'm already logged in. And what I've got here is for the careful coding exercise, I've added a few things. So I have the prompt library, which I think you saw before, um, which is in all sample data, nothing internal. Then I've got the OpenAI chat. I can chat with the for model. Performance analysis. This is just looking at who's using my app. This is the AI agents, and we talked about each of the agents. I'm just trying to explain how agents work. So the interaction of how the agents work, right? And how the handoff may come between these agents that have different roles, limitations, that sort of thing. I think we've already talked about that. By the way, this is not an agentic architecture. This is just trying to explain how the agents work. What are their interactions with each other? What is a safety matrix? So don't give a virus a credit card, right? What are the limits? How do we think about governance? Again, these just these are just demos to help you understand this. What I'm actually really interested in is this data science experiment marketplace. So what I've done is taken some just sample from the automotive OEM, not specific to anyone, said let's look at customer segmentation, for instance. Let's go look at what that is. Let's start that experiment. And then I said, choose one of the IDEs that I can choose. And by the way, I would probably also add internal versus external. So I could do some things externally without any corporate data. I'm going to go ahead and launch an experiment with, say, Bolt. And when I launch it, it's going to launch the IDE, my actual Bolt, uh, right? So I go back to my homepage here. I also have this give me auto intelligence hub. So this is giving me news stories from the industry that are, I think I'm doing 20 articles a day or something like that, that relate to something that might have high value for experimentation. Then I've got a lab here where I can launch an experiment, and this will give me a Databricks, PyTorch notebook or Databricks or whatever it is I need. Then we talk about the 360 lifestyle or life cycle of the customer, and then data insights might be the total value of the things we're working on. Again, just all examples to help out data scientists. Now, I took a similar idea, and I'm using the dev and agent infrastructure to actually build an agentic architecture where I can start building prompts. So I can build prompts, and for each of the agents I have built what the agent can do, what are the powers, what are the limits, what is the workflow. So for each one, you'll see that we have the guardrails, and it's important as we thought as we go from chatbots to agents to agentic operating systems to agents that have semi to full autonomy within bounds. We have to make sure that we enforce all of those guardrails. That's really important. We'll talk more about that in further conversation. So what I said is build a prompt, which I built, start the workflow, analyze the recalls. And this particular one is go to an API, which is National Highway Transportation Administration, start the recall analysis by automotive OEM. Okay. This is actual live data, and these are the number of recalls by company. So it looks like Ford was the winner. Over the last 5 years, they've had the most recalls. They've had 15.4 million recalls, and here's the number of recalls. By the way, I can export the format here, right? So kind of standard data formats. I also have a data explorer function where I can change the manufacturers and other things. Again, no internal data here, just kind of just trying to think out loud and help each other do better. So that's really the concept of agents and how they might work. I've used Devon, I've used Bolt, I like Replit. Again, what I could do is now connect my Devon agents to my architecture piece here for careful coding, and actually end up with agents that are functional in this particular automotive intelligence hub. Again, I've put together the philosophy. I'm a big fan of always kind of talking about what we're doing, the interactive builder, automotive specialization, all this stuff. Now, the big challenge is how do I take these external demos with no corporate data, nothing internal, and use them internally? And for that, we have to think about what tools we can use inside the firewall, how we deal with corporate data, how we deal with training data. Remember, the gold in their hills is data. And so that's probably one of the more important topics, and we'll continue to talk about that as we go along. Thanks for listening. These are some of the tools I'm using this week. Take care.